So let's start with your name. Where'd your name come from?
I think my name came from my grandmama family, so when I was little I used to repeat everything that my grandmother would say, so that's where the name came from.
Has that always been your rap name, or have you had other names before?
I had a million names, a bunch of names.
What were some of them?
Big Jake, that's one of them. Jody Cannon, when I was battling and doing all that, but I mean, people just call me what they want, and it just picks up. The WeeBayy, they just been calling me WeeBayy for a few years.
And is there a meaning behind it?
Not really. You know how kids grow up in neighborhoods, and it's always that bad little kid that you call them something for whatever reason it is. It's just a family thing for real.
Now, where are you from?
I'm from Norfolk, but I done lived in every hood in the city for real. Louisville, Kentucky, and bouncing from project to project. But for the most part, I've been at Norfolk on my own for about 15 years.
Still living there now?
Nah, I pop up though.
Oh, okay. So what's home? Like, if someone says, what's your hometown, or what city do you rep, what would you say?
Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, now what's your opinion of the state of rap music right now in Kentucky at this point, 2017?
In Kentucky, I mean, it's getting better. When I left, the quality of the music, it changed. I've been gone 3 years, so, it's gotten better. People starting to get hip to what's going on. So, I've been seeing that. But I've only been out a week, so I don't know what's going on for real.
Fresh out of prison?
Yeah.
For a week?
Yeah.
Now, what was it like for you growing up in Louisville? Paint the picture for us.
Paint the picture. I've been in and out of camps and juvenile homes and stuff like that, so I couldn't really paint the picture. I mean, you're gonna have to go in detail on what you mean by paint the picture.
Well, your upbringing, what was it like for you growing up in Louisville?
I mean, I'm the oldest of 7 kids, so I had to teach my siblings a lot, so, I had to grow up fast and, get used to the street life real fast, because like I said, we lived from project to project, and then we moved out Newburgh, and, I started hanging in Norfolk and started hustling. I mean, that's my upbringing for real.
I see.
Yeah.
How young were you when you started hustling?
About 11. I'm gonna say 11, probably before that, but I didn't know what I was doing. But by the time I was 11, yeah, I was hustling.
I see.
Yeah.
Now, when you say you've been going to different, juvenile camps, and
yeah,
why so many camps and so,
Man, I stayed making mistakes and just catching pistol cases and just crazy stuff, just stupid stuff for real. I mean, dope, guns, that's all my history consists of for real.
Would you consider your upbringing rough?
Yeah. I mean, it's not like the average rapper, whatever you want to call me. So, yeah, it's definitely rough.
What was one of your roughest moments growing up?
My roughest moments?
Yeah.
I went through something as like a child or something.
Yeah, what was one of your roughest moments growing up?
I mean, I stayed on Cecil when I was back in '97, so it was crazy then. I guess seeing what was going on back then, like being so young in '97, I was probably 8 years old. So, I mean, you can sit outside and somebody get killed. I mean, if you call that rough, I guess.
Yeah, kids don't normally see stuff like that.
Yeah, 8 years old.
The average kid.
Right, right.
Now, when it comes to growing up, you being in school, what type of student were you in school?
I was good in school. Up until like the 4th grade. How old are you in the 4th grade?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I'm bad with ages.
Yeah, up until like the 4th grade, I had good grades. And, you know, but I was unfortunate and had to do what I had to do around that age. And that's when my grades started to fall off. And by the time I got to middle school, it was over. So
Now, did you drop out of school?
I ain't drop out. I got my GED when I was 16
Pretty early.
in camp. So,
I see.
yeah, I figured it out and got my GED. And, you know.
Any thoughts about going to college, or was that not even in the picture?
Man, I might go. I might check out some online classes or something this year or something and try to go to a college or something. But right now I'm focused on, you know, this music. So.
Now, looking back, I mean, when dealing with the streets and hustling and stuff like that, was that the only choice back then? Was that unavoidable? Or, you know, looking back at yourself and your situation, could you have made other decisions?
Yeah, I mean, it's people that was around me that made better decisions, but, I mean.
Why choose the streets? Why go the hustling route?
Because, I mean, I guess because I was born in it. I wasn't just, we come from nothing. So, you know, I was born in it. Some people, I had a choice. I had a conscious choice when I was probably 17 and 18. I knew what I was doing, but before then, I was born in it. So everything I was doing was the right thing.
I see. But there was a point where you could have gotten out of the street life maybe and the hustling life and chose a different direction, but
maybe. But once you're in the street so deep, it's kind of hard to get out, you know.
Okay, now let me ask you this. What do you say to somebody kind of in a similar situation, getting out of high school and thinking about the next choice in their life? Because, you know, there might be somebody watching this that's maybe 1 foot in the streets, 1 foot could make another decision. Well, the rap is another.
1 foot in the rap, 1 foot in the trap.
Yeah, but I mean, also they could make a decision maybe to choose something else, right?
Right.
So what do you say to that person watching this, finishing up high school, thinking about the next decision? Should they go to school? If they're into music, obviously, should they go right into music? And some people, like you said, are halfway in the streets, halfway not. Should they continue the streets? What do you say to that person?
I would say to that person, whatever you do it like it's your first. Like, just do it. I mean, whether it's working on cars, you need to learn everything about working on cars. If you're selling drugs, you need to learn the laws, know the laws. If you're doing the rap thing, you know, you need to find out what gets you here or there, you know what I mean? So that's what I would say.
Now, if somebody's able to continue their education, right, and they want to get into music at the same time after high school, because you're doing music now,
Right.
What do you say to that person that wants to go into music? Do you suggest that they continue their education and go and do the music at the same time, or do you say go right into the music?
If you, I mean, they giving education away right now. So, I mean, I got a partner right now. He's in school doing the music thing, and it's helping him. So, you know, I think he's in Tennessee or something? Said, you know, so. I mean, you can still go to school and do the music thing. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Jobs you had growing up, if any?
Jobs?
Yeah.
I've never.
Ever had a real job?
I was a paper boy. You know, my granddaddy used to run like a newsstand, and I worked for him when I was like a youngin'. So, I mean, you call that a job?
Quit that job, got fired from it?
I just saved up enough money to do whatever I needed to do and get up out of there. That's what that was. I was a baby though. I was like 10.
Any crazy stories dealing with that job? Anything out of the norm or no?
Nah, I wasn't there that long.
Now, are both parents in your life?
Now, yeah, I mean, you know, my pops, I still have a relationship with him. Mother the same, you know. But I got to know my daddy when I was like 19. He did 10 flat before then, so.
I see.
Yeah, I met him. Well, I didn't meet him. I re-met him. I got to know him in penitentiary, so, you know, we been kicking it.
So you actually met him while he was locked up? You were locked up at the same time?
Yep, we was down at the same camp. They had us at a little camp, so, yeah.
Now, did you have much of a relationship with him at all before he went to prison?
For 10 years.
Did you ever visit him in prison, stuff like that before? Or?
Nah. Mom Deuce we ain't never go visiting.
I see.
Yeah.
So your parents were separated?
Yeah.
What age were you when they were separated?
I never remember them messing around, so.
So right from birth, right when you were early, they were split.
I remember seeing him around when I was like 5, then 7, then I ain't see him till I was 19, so, yeah.
Now, what about as far as siblings? Are you the only child?
Nah, my mom, she got 7 kids. I'm the oldest of 7, so.
Yeah, you did mention that earlier in the interview, right?
Right.
And what about your dad's side?
He got 10 kids, and 2 by my mom, so, yeah.
Now, anybody else in your family rap aside from yourself, or just you?
I be trying to get everybody in the studio, so I mean, my little brother, both my little brothers, they rap, so one of them passed away though, so and the other was locked up, so yeah.
Now, what does your family think about your rap career?
Some of them probably think it's a joke. Some of them think it's a joke. You know, it's a few. The intermediate family, they know it's serious. So yeah.
What about your parents, your mom and dad? What do they think about your rap career?
They love my music. They probably my biggest fans.
Okay. Now, have they ever seen you perform?
Yeah. They, Mom Dukes, we had a show some years back. It was some free shit or something, you know what I mean? So she came out there. Nah, it was the drug related volume 2. She came out there, checked us out, and, you know.
What'd she think?
She liked it, but you know how it is with moms. She likes everything.
Well, there's some parents that aren't supportive of what their kids do, so you never know.
Right.
Okay, now in regards to your parents, what's the worst thing you put them through?
The worst thing. Regards to my parents?
Yeah, what's the worst you put them through?
Man.
The oldest is 7. On your mom's side.
My mom's, I done dropped the ball. I dropped the ball last time, I feel like, on her, so, I mean, me being incarcerated for the past 3 years is probably the worst thing. But Pops, he's in and out too, so it don't matter with him, you know.
Now, we spoke about a variety of subjects, but what's your overall message to the youth, generally speaking? What would you say to them?
Man, be what you want to be. Be who you want to be. Be the best you, period. Or whatever it is.
Okay, now how did you get into rap music? What age were you?
I want to say about 8. I was about 8. You know, I grew up listening to the Hot Boys and you know, down south rappers, like, so when I was about 8, they was real popping back then.
Were they your musical influence, or did you have any others? Anybody else that inspired you?
Shit, I was inspired by everybody. I mean, I've never been the type to just follow one rapper or one artist. Like, I listen to a lot of different genres and a lot of different music, so, I mean.
Now, how many years would you say you've been perfecting your craft for?
I mean, I want to say about 5 years. Is that right? About 5 years.
Do you remember your first rap or what you were rapping about back then?
Yeah, but 5 years ago, yeah, I remember.
What was it about?
Bricks, that's what it was about. You know, trap life, that's what it was about, for real.
Now, when it comes to the music industry, what bothers you the most about it at this point? What's your biggest pet peeve with it, if anything?
I mean, it's a lot of guys that ain't been through nothing this more fortunate. So, and I see, I mean, it's cool to have a sound or whatever, but I mean, a lot of guys ain't really been through nothing. So I kind of despise it a little bit, but I don't bite into it or nothing like that. But man, you know, what I'm spitting is real. What I'm talking about is real. So, you know.
Now, do you see this being changed anytime soon? Do you see this getting fixed, this problem that you speak of?
I mean, once we in the door, man, we gonna bust it wide open. I mean, I'm not really gonna worry about whether it gets fixed or not. I mean, they gonna do it. They gonna continue to do it. It's not. I can't stop it. I mean, but.
Do you blame record labels and executives for that, or more of listeners and consumers for that happening?
The listeners and the consumers, really, because, I mean, you ain't gotta dig deep, but do your homework, man, before you start listening to somebody who's a federal informant or something, man. That's what, it's because, you know, these guys ain't right out here, like, they're going against what we stand for, so you might want to do your homework on them rappers.
Now, when you're in the studio, top 3 things you need in the studio, top 3 necessities.
Top 3 necessities. The smoke, man, the gummy worms, man. It's some apple juice or something. I got to have the gummy worms, though, yeah.
What do you smoke? What strain?
Not at the moment. I'm not smoking nothing at the moment. You know, I can't smoke because I'm on papers, but I got like 3 months left, so, you know, I'll be fine after that. You feel me?
Is it a certain strain you're looking forward to smoking after your 3 months is up? After you're off paper?
Yeah, all of them. All of them, man.
Now, what does smoking do for you when you're in the studio?
I mean, it just makes me mellow, for real. It don't get me turned up or nothing like that. You know, it's not really good to smoke with me to go record, but if I want to go listen to some music, you know, we can do it like that. So yeah, that's how I rock out.
Craziest studio story, if you have one.
Craziest studio story. We ain't got no crazy studio story. We recorded a song back in 2012, and we was in the trap house, man. The Pyrex was really on the stove. You feel me? And I was in the living room rapping what I was doing. Like, that shit was real, you know. So I guess you can call that a crazy studio story. I mean, for these guys that don't do it, it might be a crazy studio story, but man, we was really in a trap. So yeah.
Now, I'm sure you come across a variety of beats. Has there been any beat that you received that you passed on that became a bigger song for somebody else?
That I passed on? Nah. I like beats. I keep beats. I don't pass too many on. I feel like I got a good ear, so I mean, the ones that I pass on, there's something wrong with it in my eyes, so I haven't seen that yet. No.
Now, what's the realest song you ever wrote so far in your whole catalog of music at this point?
The realest song I ever wrote. Right now, I'm gonna put this song called Whatever on there. It's the realest song I ever wrote, so.
Why? What's it about?
I mean, it really takes you through what really happened with my situation before I went to prison, and I mean, but my next when I'm dropping now, that's gonna be the realest thing I ever wrote.
But I guess what's something that people can look at back currently? You know what I mean?
Currently?
Was it that song? Is that the realest so far that people can look
so
up
far,
and listen
but
to?
you know, I lost my little brother while I was incarcerated, so I mean, I got some things that I'm putting together. It's written, but I just gotta, you know, finish it up. Shit like that.
Okay, now risk versus reward. What's the biggest risk you took for your music career so far?
The biggest risk? I'm gonna say right now, I mean, I can't really say the biggest risk. I mean, not doing the things that I know that I could be doing. I don't know if you would call that a risk, but I mean, before I went to penitentiary, I was, you know, getting to it. So I mean, it's things that I could be doing that, you know, it's small to me. You know, once I meet up with a few guys that I mess with, you know, I'm good. So I mean, I ain't got to worry about that.
Proudest accomplishment so far in your music career?
My music. Proudest accomplishment. I'm gonna say my first, me and Stacker's first accomplishment would be like Traps and Trunks or something. Like when we done Traps and Trunks, I felt like that was a big thing for back then. The city wasn't hip to live mixtapes and that piff, so we kind of put it together on an accident, and I just seen what type of buzz you can really get off of it. So, yeah.
What's the biggest misconception of you?
Biggest misconception.
What's one thing people think about you but it's not true?
I mean, it's rumors. It's a 1,000,001 rumors you can probably squeeze out the streets, but I mean, I ain't a bad guy, man. I haven't heard a lot of bad things on my name, so I couldn't really answer that straight up like you wanted.
Craziest rumor you heard about yourself?
Craziest rumor that I ran off with the bag. I mean, that I ran off on a plug or some shit. They, you know, cities tend to spur up a bunch of rumors. They said I took a couple birds from some Mexicans or something. Man, I ain't, you know, it's not what happened, so.
Do you care what people think about you?
Nah.
Why not?
'Cause I mean, shit, I know what it is. The people around me know what it is. They know I'm 100, so, you know, it don't bother me at all. I don't care what nobody think.
What about music-wise? Do you care what people think?
I really don't care. You know, I've heard opinions and you know, they just drop them on me sometimes, but it ain't, I don't pay no attention, you feel me?
What are your keys to success?
Staying humble, I won't say. That's the biggest You gotta stay humble, man, and motivated.